right. Welcome back from the lot to the pit with Penny Lane. I am your stage manager, Penny Lane. Here we are at episode 3, still on a high from all the positive energy and incredible support. I am so lucky to have all of you vibing with me. Can I just start off by telling you how much I love festivals? Talk about energy. It's all about the vibes, all in one place. I do love weekend runs like a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday run, but it's only great if there's no repeats, and there's not many bands that can really do that anymore. So that's kind of where a festival comes in. All of your faves, all in one place, and sometimes new music to discover. Which brings me actually to today's episode topic, Closer to the Sun Music Festival. It was December 8th through the 12th, 2022, so this past December, Riviera Maya, Cancun, Mexico. I'll do my best to describe this reggae jam paradise to you. Unless you are there, words cannot do it any justice. This festival is put on by Silverback Management, John Matt Phillips, and hosted by Slightly Stoopid. It's a 5-day rock reggae, sun, beach, food, endless cocktails, and some of those amazing people from all over. This year's lineup was pretty stellar. It was Slightly Stoopid, 311, Don Carlos, Charlie Tuna, a stick figure, the Elovators, SOJA, Artikal Sound System, Fortunate Youth, Iya Terra, and the Boogie Brothers, Redman and Method Man from Wu-Tang Clan, Kyle Smith, Eric Swanson from Eric Swanson Band, and Bret Wilson from Roots of Creation. Well, let's just start off with Slightly Stoopid, who killed it per usual. From the main stage, beach stage, and everywhere in between, all shows were on point. Ending their run with the Beastie Boys Intergalactic, so it was pretty planetary. Hung out with Miles Dowdy, guitar and vocals, Andy Geib on brass most of the week. Also met Kyle McDonald, vocals, guitar, bass, Carl Denson on brass, and OG on percussion. I've never seen actually 311 live, and they were pretty great. A blast from the past, brought me way back to high school. Also, look forward to catching them again. Then there's, in his 70s, Don Carlos, who can still captivate a crowd and command a stage. And can we talk about Charlie Tuna for a minute? If you don't know who he is, you should. I love this cat's vibe and his voice. He could read me a bedtime story or rap on stage, and I would pay for both. He also gives really good hugs. I started to actually lose my voice the first night that Stick Figure played. They put on a really damn good show. I hung out with these cats all week. They were just as fun on stage as off. Scott Woodruff and his sweet pup Coco, Tommy Sullivan, Kevin Ofitzer, Brendan Dane, TJ O'Neill, K-Bong. I love you guys, but damn, K-Bong on the keys. It's like the Energizer Bunny on car batteries. He made everyone jump around. It was a complete blast. And then we have the Elovators, definitely elevated us to this chill realm that you got lost in. Met Jackson Weatherby and John Elvis and Nick Asta, all true talents. And then you got SOJA, who was on a whole nother level at this show. They freaking brought it. We met them briefly at Cali Vibes last year and caught most of their show. But this show was like reggae, rock, blues, transcendence. Trevor Young has literally been a musician since he could walk. Hung out with him and his girl Allie. I just adore them both. Also met Jake Hemphill and Bobby Lee Jefferson, who have been friends actually since first grade, and their stage connection just makes the entire crowd smile. Also met the band members' wives, Lauren and Aaron, backstage, or back at the Artist Suite actually. Thank you ladies for a good time. It was such a blast. Some stuff I just can't even repeat. It's just so fun. First time I saw Artikal Sound System was actually last summer at Milwaukee Summerfest. They opened for Dirty Heads. Fantastic show. This is a Florida-based band that has really come into their own in a very short time. Hung out with Logan Rex and Chris Montague. I really love their passion. They were loving being in Mexico. The whole band's energy really pumps up the crowd. Logan takes complete control of the stage and she owns it. I can't wait to see them in Chicago soon. It is coming up. I will post the links in my bio. I'll be chatting with Logan in the next coming weeks, so stay tuned on Facebook and I'll post that as well. Fortunate Youth, with that powerhouse raspy voice of Dan Kelly, gives them that old school island sound, hits your soul right right there. I spent some time with Dan and his fiance, Audra. Love you, Audra. She talked about having to constantly remind him not to yell to save his voice. His voice is super unique. Make sure you check them out. Iya Terra was actually new to me. I had not listened to them before, and I'm glad I did. Lots of passion for what they do. I met them actually through my soul sister Kenzie, or new soul sister Kenzie. You got Nathan Weinstein, Nick Laporcio, Nick Safaris, and Louis Tovar. Louis and I were actually cracking jokes at the dozen people that it took to load the UFC fights on the TV in the artist suite. After 45 minutes, still couldn't make it happen. Then we have the Boogie Brothers, who are a DJ group that kept the nights rolling after all the shows. Absolutely dug Travis and DJ Unite. Love you. DJ Green Tea. These cats were super rad on stage and so fun to hang out with. There was also some pop-up jams, Poolside Hacienda Pool with Eric Swanson Band, who is actually from my home state of Illinois. His acoustic set was so chill and perfect for a poolside jam. You definitely need to check out some Eric Swanson, especially if you're in this area. It's good to have a hometown boy. Kyle Smith, the hardest working man in reggae. You're going to hear me say that many times. He did a set with Scotty Brown and Chris Nishida. They were added to the bill pretty last minute. I actually talked to Kyle when he first got in, and he said he had gotten an email like 3 days prior and was super stoked to jump on board. They packed the pool. I mean, the whole Hacienda pool was packed. There was nowhere to even be. It was great, a great set. Afterwards, I met Scotty and Chris. Chris actually talked about how music keeps him going. I was extremely inspired by it, and I can't wait to chat these guys up again. Bret Wilson from Roots of Creation was the final Hacienda pool set. Bret was super fun. You can tell he was just having a blast. Such a great time, and he made everyone feel the same. If you haven't checked them out, check his stuff out. He has this group called Grateful Dub, or this stuff called Grateful Dub. It's reggae-infused tribute to the Grateful Dead. It's excellent. Also, finally, we have Redman and Method Man from Wu-Tang, who started off pretty strong. They didn't really complete a song. It was like a sampler show. It was okay, but I definitely liked their Cali Vibe show way better than this one. They came in the night before and stayed in the room under the Bret Michaels suite. So let me kind of set this up for you. We hung out with the artists in the Bret Michaels suite after all the shows. The suite is a 9,000 foot silver room, rooftop hot tub, bars, pool tables, everything room. So just GTS, you'll dig it. We were up there every night after the shows until the wee hours the next morning, just hanging out. So apparently Redman and Method Man had gotten in. We kept them up the night before their show. So fast forward to the night of the show, that after they performed, we had caught a couple shows in between, and then we walked back to the Bret Michaels suite. I was with my girl Kenzie and Kyle Smith. We literally walked with Redman and Method Man to our block of suites. I asked them if they were heading up to the suite, to the Bret Michaels suite, and they said, nah. I did notice that they were walking with hotel security, but I didn't really think much of it. Then when we got up to the Bret Michaels suite, there was security and like cops with rifles and like federales, like a lot of them. They didn't stop me, so I knocked on the door, and Miles from Slightly Stoopid opened the door, and I said, hey, what's up with the heavily armed guards? And he said that we had kept them up because we were so loud last night. In shock, I laughed. I was like, what? And then Miles says, yes. And then he says, look out the window, said to my surprise, here comes a man in blue and he's flashing lights. He said, no, you know your boy's fucking over with, because you're smoking nuts and you're rolling flips. And tell me what you think I ought to think of this. So won't you put out just like... He didn't really say that, but I was just kidding. Those are lyrics to a song. I'm just being absolutely ridiculous. He actually said because the night before we were so loud that we were going to have to shut down early. So I was like, with a straight face, I was like, and then hysterical laughter and disbelief. So apparently they're not as gangsters as we thought they were. So after that we had to kick everyone out, and we kind of stayed a little bit long, but anybody new coming up to the suite we had to kick out. So when people knocked on the door, I had to tell them to leave, including Logan and the crew from the Artikal sound system, which I really wanted to hang with them. And Logan went all out and dressed in this like Bret Michaels vibe with a headband and everything. And I love you, Logan, and I had to kick her out. So Ella, I literally felt completely terrible. But thank you, Logan, for being so incredibly understanding and checking in on me after I lost my voice on two or three. We continued to hang out in the suite a little bit longer that night until about 2 or 3, but we kept it real quiet. So Redman and Method Man, good show, bad party sportsmanship. Next time, just hang out. Be cooler if you did. This was a 5-night music festival, all inclusive, good food, good drinks, dirty monkeys, no idea what's in them, but they were yummy. Great people at the Hard Rock Hotel, Riviera Maya, Mexico. By day 2, I had actually forgotten that I had a real job. I lost my voice, but this was by far the best music vacation I had ever taken. I met some amazing friends and family that have kind of adopted and new stellar friends and surrounded by great music. We actually went swimming in the underground caves, the cenotes. We went downtown Tulum for dinner on the beach. We hung out with artists like brothers and sisters. They're all there for the same reason, music and sun. If you are not on the waiting list, get on it. So now we're going to move on to kind of like the guts of the show. And that was the longest intro ever, but I love all of those bands and they just deserved a shout out. So here we are at the Shakedown Lowdown. This is where we talk about stuff sold on lot or during festivals. There wasn't really anything like that at Closer to the Sun. So John Phillips, let's talk about this later. I can run it. You can have a Shakedown Lowdown, a Shakedown in the Sand. We can have vendors. Let's make this happen. Since there aren't any vendors at this event, please see the links that I have included on my socials with descriptions of that in the description of the episode as well. I will attach merch links for the bands. Check them out. They have some super sweet threads and much more. Give my buddy Kyle all an extra look too on his site. I will post that. He's the hardest working man in reggae. Told you I would say it again. He's self-promo. He ships his own merch. Well worth the listen. He's his own everything. So gift him a room too. And if you click on his link, you'll know what I'm talking about. Now on to travel, just the tips. First of all, when you are traveling out of the country, make sure to check the weather. I did notice some changes in the weather. It wasn't going to be hot the whole time, so I'm glad I did because it was hot during the day and cold at night. And I was always comfortable. I brought just the right stuff. I also bought these festival fans. I should have grabbed one to show you guys. I don't know why I didn't. I'll post another video separately. But they're giant fans and it'll keep you nice and cool, and I'll post the links on how to get it as well. They were super inexpensive and they were great quality and super fun designs. Also, when you're at the airport or before you go to the airport, weigh your bags because most flights only accept up to 50 pounds for their checked bags. So if there's any themes going on for these festivals that you need to dress up, make sure you pack light for everything else. We had brought a ton of stuff because there was theme nights. So our bags were grossly overweight and we ended up paying an extra $100 and some to bring our stuff with. This particular event is all inclusive. All food, drinks, everything you imagine at your fingertips, including really nice restaurants through the grounds that are part of the all-inclusive package. So just a tip that come hungry. Also, you don't have to convert your money. I mean, if you want to, go ahead, but they all take tips in American money, so we didn't convert any dollars into pesos for even shopping or anything. Just make sure you have a conversion so you know, print out a conversion before you leave so you know that you're not getting scammed anywhere. And then also, huge tip, call your bank before you leave the country. Because if you go to use your ATM or a debit or run your credit card somewhere, it's not going to run if it's not a card that's already open to be able to do that. So make sure you call your bank and let them know you're traveling. The beach line was set up with like separate small lagoons with bars and food everywhere. So you had endless food wherever you went. So make sure, like I said, come hungry. Make sure that you also set up off-site ride shares for travel with the hotel directly so that you're safe. The cenotes in Tulum were very cool. We swam in the underground caves, like I said, and we went cliff diving, kind of, and zip lining. We also had a private tequila tasting. We had dinner on the beach in Tulum. We came into Tulum and were astounded on how rad it was there. Tons of shopping, varieties of everything you can imagine, including pharmacies that sold prescription drugs over the counter. Super strange, but to each his own. We didn't really realize that was down there, so make sure that when you're traveling, kind of look at other people's tips of what's in that area so that you can plan accordingly. We didn't have time to really shop down there, so some of us ended up buying wooden toys from some of the local kids on the beach that were peddling their stuff. So on to the next part of our show. Please get out. No, I'm waiting for the set list. So this is where we kind of talk about, the dichotomy of music and lyrics and so forth. So let's talk about the epic lineup on the beach. So I loved all of it by far, but some parts just stole the show. First, I want to describe the genre the best I can. Rock reggae. So rock reggae is like if reggae, rock, ska, punk, and hip hop all were stranded on an island, but super stoked that they were stranded and super positive about it. Then they're going to sing about that positivity and being optimistic and overcoming adversity, and it'll bring you peace and love and keep you smiling. See what I did there? Also a lyric of a song. I'm over the top excited about this festival I went to. You just can't help but be happy and jamming to these bands. They tell a story and they make you dance and smile. So I, of course, have to talk about Slightly Stoopid song, Closer to the Sun, which is the festival's namesake. This is a super catchy jam with its flickering guitar riffs and echoed vocals. I have read that this song is kind of a love song and about love, but I almost feel like it can be interpreted as the relationship between friends and fans from show to show. The lyric, people sing the same song everywhere I'm going. Closer to the sun and farther from the moon, people screaming out, they gonna see me real soon. If you just listen to that, you can get your own take on it, but I just feel like it's a connection to an audience and an artist. But get your own vibe from it, and it's an amazing song. My favorite part of the Stoopid show was definitely Intergalactic by the Beasties. They came out in the suits and this whole thing, and we happened to be on the balcony of the artist suite overlooking the main stage. We were all jumping around and definitely testing the stability of the balcony. Hands down, stellar show. I also want to chat you up about some killer ass, the acronym for Artikal Sound System. One of my faves that they do is called Pull Me Close. This jam will get you moving. I feel like it's the song that plays in your head when you're on the dance floor and you lock eyes with that one person on the dance floor and everyone in the room disappears, and it's like about grabbing the moment and letting go, and you feel it in the lyric. And the one lyric that like really grabs you is rock the rhythm of the bass line, and it's just the whole song is put together to kind of transcend you. Please check them out. Also look up Live Your Life by Artikal Sound System, and then also look up Dua Lipa's most likely stolen version of Levitating. I'm just going to leave this right here, intellectual property, y'all. You'll have to look that up to know what I mean. Make sure to check these guys out live. You will have a new fave live band to see. So much energy. Lastly, I want to talk about the man with the hardest hustle in reggae, Kyle Smith. See, I didn't say hardest working man this time. Hardest hustle. I don't have a particular song to recommend. I happen to really love the song Seven Sins, but I want you all to listen to all of his music. From drugs to panhandling, not thinking that he even had a future, to rehab, to recovery, and a redo on his entire life. He is now sober and laying his life out to anyone who can listen or will listen. With every chord he sings, he'll strike a chord right here in your soul. Make sure to check him out. I will also post the links to everyone's socials, so make sure you like all of these cats and listen to them as well. Next part of our show is called Call a Friend and Sing a Song. This is the part where we talk about the people we met, incredible stories of people. First of all, I met so many incredible people. Seriously, we were VIP. We hung out with all of the bands. Such amazing, talented cats to be surrounded by. Oh, and the sweet pup Coco, Scott from Stick Figures for a Baby. I love that little girl. She's a little old lady. Some friends of ours got married on the beach. Don Carlos was originally supposed to officiate the wedding, but was not feeling good that morning. So right before the wedding, Miles from Slightly Stoopid stepped in. So check out the video. I posted it on my channel. It's probably the one right before this. And it's a shot of Captain Wes and Melissa's wedding. Congrats, guys. We love you. Which brings me to my date for the wedding, Kenzie, which actually we had dates, but Farmer Dave and Clay were running a little bit late. And that's a whole nother show. I met Kenzie in passing on our walk from the beach to another stage. Then later on, I met her at the Artist Beach, and the next day, we unintentionally dressed alike the entire show. Instant buds for life. We are texting almost every day since then, and she's got a great story of her life as well. She's a therapist, and she lives in Bozeman, Montana. She is a little bit younger than me, but we have so much alike. We're literally going to be soul sisters for life. Then also, let me scroll up here. I didn't pass out any shush cards, oddly. Not anyway for shushing anybody. This was definitely a crowd that vibed together and didn't really talk during shows. And if you did, it was like outside of the venue, but otherwise everybody was having such a great time. So no shush cards to talk about, but I did pass them out to share my page. So let's close this puppy up. Guys, let me tell you that this was the best music vacation that I ever had. I think I mentioned that once, but I can't say it too many times. This is a place to make memories. So thank you to Silverback Management, John and Matt Phillips. I love you guys. And Slightly Stoopid for having a vision and letting us see the vibe. Happy birthday to my bro Clay, and thank you for hooking us up. And to his parents, Mi Familia, Chuck and Debbie, happy 46th anniversary. Great job on not killing each other after all of these years. I love you both. Thank you to our dear friends for taking this journey with us, enjoying music together. Shan and Robert Reyes, Mario and Carrie, Melissa and Captain Wes, Clay and Mama and Papa Guida, and then our new friends, Jose and Iceline and Kenzie, and all the rest of the friends we met along the way. Make sure that you get yourself on this waiting list for this show. There is nothing like this show. Please follow me on socials. I will post links to everything for pics and videos. Thank you for tuning in today from the lot to the pit. I am Penny Lane. I will see you there with one finger in the air, and try not to step on your best friend's feet.